main reason amateurs and beginners top the ball, especially raw beginners, is because they're athletic and they go and they pop up, brilliant, but they hit the ground too far behind. So if I pop up on my right side, as you can see there, I'm in danger of topping the ball like so. But the pop-up was right. The only problem with it is I didn't hit the ground in the right place. So I should be trying to hit the ground under the ball or just a fraction ahead of it with an iron, pretty much level with it with a driver, maybe a little bit behind with a driver.
Winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Padraig Harrington.
Welcome back to Paddy's Golf Tips. We've got a new series, the 10 lessons every golfer should know. Not going to be in order of importance, because if it was importance, we'd be starting with the grip and the setup. We're going to go straight into probably the more interesting one and the one that should have a big jump in improvement in your game if you can do it. Okay, so everybody wants to swing coordinated. Everybody wants to swing in rhythm. They want to get the sequence of their swing right. Very simple way of doing that. Just swing the club, especially if you start forward, back and forth. If you swing back and forth and can keep that club for maybe 10 swings moving back and forth, it has to stay on plane. Because the minute you go out and wrong, you can see I can't keep the rhythm of it. So if I can swing back and forth and hold that rhythm, I'm doing it nice and smooth to start off with, you will see everything has a nice tone. Everything's working in coordination. The legs are moving. You got to move your feet. The head's moving. The coordination between the arms, perfect. The wrists are releasing. Everything is going nicely coordinated. So how do we get that into the golf swing? Okay, well, we start by introducing two tiny little pauses. When we're generally thinking with our hands about shoulder height. Okay, that's about the right distance when you're practicing. Because if I swing to shoulder height, when I actually go to hit it, the club will go further. So we're generally thinking shoulder height, okay? And we're going to add in a barely imperceptible pause here and a longer pause here. So back and forth, long pause, little pause, long pause, okay? So we're just going to hold that finish for a second, but again, we're still keeping that rhythm. And as you can see, feet are moving, head's moving, which is very important. Okay, you'll get nowhere by keeping them still. Okay. Now, what's the next progression? Because we want this to cross over. And I can get people to do this and then it doesn't cross over to when they're hitting. So you have to take the next progression. You've got to learn to hit the ground. This is essential for everybody. I know amateurs don't like hitting the ground at their golf club because it's taking divots. It looks like you're doing some damage. So if you have a mat to do it on, if you have a garden to do it at home in, if you do it in the rough, but you've got to learn to hit the ground because it gives impact and it also gives a position of where the ball is going to be. Right, so I'm going to hit the ground like so. Lovely pauses at the end. Just nice, hit the ground, okay? That giving me the sense of brace at impact, which is very important. We want to always brace up at impact to give the maximum power into the shot, which we will get to later. So, little pauses and hit the ground, just like so. Now, what we're going to do is going to watch where we're hitting the ground. So I would ideally, you know, as a kid, I would have learned this by hitting daisies in the garden. So you just, hopefully you have something like that where there's a few weeds that you want to take out and just pick a spot on the ground and hit that point in the ground. Okay, as you can see, I'm moving around to that, but I'm picking a spot and I'm hitting the ground there, which again is giving me perception of not just where the ground is, but now it's going to also give me perception of where I want to hit the ground when the ball is down there. So most amateurs, when they do this, or when they come, especially new amateurs, when they're beginners, when they come to the game, they have that lovely brace coming up at impact because we've got to pop up to hit the ball, but of course they top the ball, they miss it. And some well-meaning person says keep the head down, but couldn't be further from the truth. Trying to keep your head down will make everything come up in the wrong place. So there's only two reasons why, well, I'm sure there's more reasons, but two of the main reasons why you top the ball is one, you spin a lot, and the club is so high, it's hard to get down. Okay, so somebody who's thinking that I've got to turn hard, if that club comes out with you, it's hard to get the club down. So you could top it for that reason. But the main reason amateurs and beginners top the ball, especially raw beginners, is because they're athletic and they go and they pop up. Brilliant. But they hit the ground too far behind. So if I pop up on my right side, as you can see there, I'm in danger of topping the ball like so. But the pop-up was right. The only problem with it is I didn't hit the ground in the right place. So I should be trying to hit the ground under the ball or just a fraction ahead of it with an iron, pretty much level with it with a driver, maybe a little bit behind with a driver. But again, if I can learn to hit the ground, so essentially I will be popping up on this leg, whereas amateurs tend to pop up on this leg, causing the top shot. So again, we want to make sure we know where we're hitting the ground. See how I'm always going to be forward, hitting the ground. Now the beauty of watching where you're hitting the ground and moving around is you don't want to do it in the same spot because you're going to dig a hole. Now that's okay if it's your own ground. Like, I'm not saying do this at the golf course or it's a mat, but it's even better. I've got a couple of blades of grass I can see here which old bits. So it's even better if I actually hit the ground in different spots. See the way I'm stepping now to hit it? So that's our next advance on back and forth, rhythm, pausing, hitting the ground is now actually to move around when you're doing it. So in this particular case, I'm gonna pick different spots. So if I use, I'll grab a few tees. I'm not telling you to hit tees, but this is to just give you an idea. If this was just pieces of dirt on the ground, so I can go around forward, back, hit that tee. So I'm getting beautiful foot movement now by doing that. My feet are doing beautiful movement, which is exactly what we want. We want all this movement. Later on, if we want to later on, it's no rule that says you have to. There's no rule that says you can't hit the golf ball by stepping. Okay, but later on we will tidy these up, but we need to start off with this movement. We want all the good movement of athleticism, and then later on we tidy it up. So as you can see, I'm moving around hitting different spots, okay? So we've got 5 things so far, I think. Back and forth is nice and rhythmical. Then we're pausing shoulder height to shoulder height. Then we're hitting the ground, okay? Then we're learning, after we know where we're hitting the ground, we're learning where to pop up, that we do want that pop up in the swing. We always want that up in the swing, but of course we don't want it back here, which is what most amateurs will tend to do. They're trying to get the ball in the air. We actually want that pop up on the left leg to pop up, like so. Okay, and once we know where we're hitting the ground, that's okay. We're going to hit ball first and then turf. So it would be a simple pop-up. I'm going to start up here, like so, when the ball's in place. But that's a little bit too far ahead, okay? That was only a teaser. If you have a comment or suggestion about future videos, please put it in the comments below. If you enjoyed or found these videos helpful, please like or subscribe down below to encourage me to do more. Oh!